absolutely gorgeous day. Every now and then it gets a little breezy. It'll probably pick up here in a little bit. We've been preparing to go tackle the turbocharger on Blue Truck, so that's what we're off to do right now. After we have all of our morning errands to do and chores around the RV. Now that we got that behind us, we can focus on Blue Truck. So let's go up there and pull all the tools out. Looks like everything went through the windstorm overnight. We were out here yesterday getting all the parts ready and getting the truck ready to put the turbocharger back in there. The engine was just really dirty in the valley, so we cleaned that up. That took a minute. It's not easy laying down up there. It takes like 10 times the amount of time to do anything laying down. Then you gotta drag all these tools out and put them away, and it's a chore. But hey, we ain't on the side of the road doing this, or it's already been done months ago. This is an 8 by 10 or 8.5 by 20 foot long, and it is divided in the middle where there's a big huge sheet of metal in there. God, no telling how much that metal costs. Somebody got their jake brake on. That ain't cool. Those are stopping right down here. How come these keys won't need some lube in there? Hey, oh, he's got a pretty big load. Big old track hoe, look like a medium-sized track hoe. So I guess we can. Here goes some more equipment. Going to a building site or something. Not much going around here. This is a very remote area. Yep, we definitely need to put lube. I guess the rain. Alright, this is a two-handed job. Okay, now we got the doors open. They put a sheet of metal, 2 sheets of metal in there. So, and it's, I don't know if that's 1/4-inch sheet. So they should have painted it. It's going to start rusting. But it's fairly dry up here, so maybe they know more about it than me. But this is very roomy. You know, it's like, I guess it is 8-foot 6-inch ceilings. So that's where that 8-foot 6-inch is. I don't know exactly how wide it is. Let's see. This is the inside. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 8 feet wide. I guess the whole thing, exterior dimensions. Maybe, you know, it's probably some kind of metric number, very close to 8 feet. But it's 8 feet 6 inches. I don't know if it's to the door, because my arm can usually reach up 8 feet. So I can see where it's 8 foot 6 inches to the ceiling. Anyway, we'll get our shit out, and we got everything cleaned up over here and prepped and ready to go. Like, there were some things we had to do to get it ready to put back in there. And I wish we had a little more time. We would paint the spider there. All of the many pipes going every which way. That's the spider. We'd paint that. We'd probably paint this too. The pedestal. And the turbo, same way. Paint it too. But we just don't have the time. And we're going to be doing more work that this is going to have to come back off again. The up pipes that feed the hot side of the turbo, we've got new those. We've got a new one of these that deletes this entirely right here. This arm deletes it. So, but it's in storage. But once we get settled somewhere, we'll come back and be doing this job again. And we'll take everything off, clean it up really, really good. Like the turbo, I'd really like to clean it more, but it doesn't do anything to hinder or add performance by cleaning it up. It just makes everything look nicer. It's been under there 24 years, baking in the hot and freezing in the cold and doing its job really well. So we gotta take care of it, and hopefully when we get us some property and have us some time, we can take the entire turbocharger system apart, all the intercooler pipes, everything off, and refresh the whole thing. The wheel inside the turbo can be changed out to a little more optimal flowing billet wheel rather than the forged one in there. It flows much better, perform better, and just make everything. Now we're just moving all this stuff to Blue Truck. It takes forever to pull everything out. Then when you got everything pulled out and you're ready, you're worn out from that. Yeah, if we had more time, we'd paint this a wrinkle finish paint, and it would turn out really well. We'd get our die grinder out first and clean up some of the burrs and edges. And same thing with this, but we're going to be replacing this eventually. We've got one of these in our other storage that eliminates this valve completely. We've got some other things in our storage that if we'd have had with us, we'd have gone ahead and installed those too, since we have all this apart. But we don't, so we can't, which means we'll have to do it again. But not anytime soon. Maybe a couple of years down the road. Well, we got everything pulled out. We are ready to actually start working 45 minutes later. So we have to lay up here and put your arms in this opening down here and feel for what you're doing, because your head's going to be right up here. You can't see what you're doing. Your head's up here, your arms are down in this hole. So anytime you need to see something, you have to pull back to this position and look in there, and then jump back up here, throw your arms down in there, and put your head up here. It's not easy at all. That's why it takes so long, because you can't see. Not one part of this job can you see what you're doing. You have to feel every part of it, aspect of it. So the truck is so high, and that makes it really challenging, because basically it's standing about this point I've got a table that works really well at this, but we don't have it with us. It comes up about this height, but it's a big table, so, and it's rated from a person to stand on it, a man. I think it's 250 pounds. So it works really well for this, but still you gotta lay down and shit. But the getting up part there is rather sketchy. So we stand here, but we're still not up to where we need to be. Right here is about where we need to be. So now this is just resting on the winch support and the other side of the winch. I'm trying not to put too much weight on it, but when you're coming down off of this, when you've been up there for as long as you can stand it, and you come down, you got to feel for your toes on these things, so it'll help you, where before my feet were just dangling right here, and I would have to slowly scooch down to the, and it was just impossible to get anything accomplished like that. This is not easy. Okay, so what we're about to do is climb up in here and get our flashlight and look at the valley again. It's prepared, should be ready to go. We're going to take another quick look. Everything looks okie dokie. Then we will proceed with this bad boy right here. The star of the show, the one that was leaking, and it was up here. It's up top of where it was leaking, not down below on this side. I guess because of all the weight that was on it back there. There's O-rings here and here. And then there's an O-ring here and here. These weren't leaking on the bottom, but you see it's got two good sized bolts right next to the opening square up top of here. Look how far apart the bolts are from the O-rings. Okay. And see, the turbo sits right here. Basically, it's in this orientation. If you're looking at it straight on, it's somewhere in this neighborhood. So the turbo is sitting right here. This part right here is sitting right here. So at least they put a guide collar for you. But see this, at least, and it's got a shoulder, which is good. But they want, this is the main feed, this is a return. This is under pressure, this is not. And so what we've done here in my honky engineering, we have one of these in storage in Mesa, but we don't have it with us. That eliminates this whole valve right here. But it's in Mesa under storage. We've got some other turbocharger parts that down there that we would like to have, because we just go ahead and put them on since we got them all off, but we don't have them with us, so we got to make do with what we got for now. So this valve right here is supposed to open up when the engine's cold, and it flips a plate on a shaft, a butterfly valve that closes the exhaust off. Closes the exhaust off so the engine will heat up quicker, and then once it gets to a certain operating temperature, the valve releases, the butterfly opens, and the exhaust goes by it like it usually does. That's what this is for. Well, we really don't need that, you know. We've got better sense to know that we need to heat the truck up, because the diesel engine works off of heat. If you have that in your head, then you know, let the engine warm up before doing anything. So this is a point that could fail or leak. So we're lucky it's not leaking, but it was leaking right up here on both of these. You can see where it was flowing on both sides. But we've kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Alright, so we will start putting this on with the O-rings on the bottom. Tighten these bolts up. There's 5 of them. 1, 2, or is there only 4? Yeah, there's 4. This one right here is impossible to get to with the turbocharger on there. You cannot get this bolt off with a turbocharger. I don't know, maybe your child can do it because their arm is so small or whatever, but it's really challenging. So the problem we were having was with this clamp right here, and we really took a beating because it had been on there for so long and it was so tight. It was, you could barely get any tool in between both of these. So that's what took us 3 days to get this clamp off, but we finally did. And how we were able to do it was we had to take everything off. You had to take the wastegate actuator off, everything you can physically take off the turbo without taking the turbocharger out will give you more room to get a tool in. By taking the wastegate off here, that allows so much more room back here, because we're talking about right here, people, right here. Look at this. You don't have an inch between the turbo and the clamp. So it's basically oriented, I'm pretty sure, like that. No? Other direction. Yeah, like this. It's even worse. So see, you got all this right here going on. You got this to deal with, and it was pinched tight. So by taking a wastegate actuator off, it gives you room to get a tool in. And what happened with me was I got the smallest screwdriver I had that was a decent flathead screwdriver. I'm not talking tiny little thing. This one right here, that's the smallest one. Yep, about this size right here is perfect, that you can get it in there. Let's see, this way, yeah, get it in there. And you can imagine now, you know, this is the firewall's right here, and the cowl is right here, and the firewall is right here. So what, I could not get it to break free, so we got this and was able to do that. That broke this. There's always 3 sections of this thing. I broke the first section. All right. So we were able to do the same thing, but we came in here. I think I have this thing upside down. Yeah. Just think about this being up here. So I was able to come to the top and get this other one to do the same thing, break that side free. So you're only dealing with the bottom one now. That's gonna be the hard one. It's still stuck on here. These are free, both of these are free, but the one on the bottom is still stuck. It was this one right here, claw foot, and it's small. This is for, I think, taking interior apart. So it's not a heavy duty tool, and it's small, and it was just small enough. It needs to be smaller than this. Then you can get it underneath there, because the pipe's gonna be right here, and you can grab a hold of at least this part. You really want to get this one, but since this is the third one down here, it's going to be solidly welded to the outside ring. You can pry it and break this one free, and you can keep hitting it with like right here with a chisel or a punch or something. Just shock it. You know, I'm not talking about with all the force you have, because you can't, because you're laying on your belly. horizontal, opposite what you're used to. So just shocking this would, you know, some of these are gonna be easier than others. Some of them are gonna be harder than others. It took me 3 days to figure out how to get mine off, but I had, part of that was taking some more stuff off, you know, so should have known better. And also in Mesa, we have, personally, this end piece on the turbo right here. The butterfly is right in here. You can see the shaft that turns right here. It's sitting higher than normal, slightly. But that's, there's a plate on this shaft right here, and that's what blocks off the whole exhaust all the way. So you can take the plate off like I did, and you still have the rod. The plate is very restrictive because it's not at a 90 degree. It's kind of like at a 75 or 80 degrees. So it's sort of like this. It's very restrictive with that plate in there. But at least taking the plate out, you don't have that to deal with. You just have the rod. So down the road, when we take this back off, to put, I want to redo the whole system, put a new wheel inside the turbo, take all this stuff off, clean it real good, clean the turbo, paint this, even paint the hot side a high temp paint, and refresh everything. You know, all new boots and everything, and make everything nice and neat and clean. We'll be doing the up pipes, the pedestal delete, the exhaust back pressure relief valve will be eliminated, because we have a piece that's just like this that just eliminates the rod. It's just a hole and a cover. Get us some new clamps and just freshen the engine back up. So let's get on this thing so we can get done with it. The princess wanted to come out, get some fresh air, so we moved the kennel from over there to there. Got her some water. You're set, baby girl. I'll be back in a little bit. Got me some water too. Yuck. All right. Oh, we were gonna get the O-rings. It is so dry. My lips are so chapped, so bad. All right, here they are. Here are the new ones. And here are the old ones. I don't know why we would need the old ones. Yeah, there's 4. They want to measure them. Let's see if we drop one. Yup. Where did we drop it? Ah, we'll never find it. This is what we need. How's it gonna go with us, Kiki? Do you have a prediction? Is it gonna be a lot simpler to put it on than to take it off? It's like, with a dummy like you, it'll probably take twice as longer, right? All right. Enjoy your fresh air. Let's get back to the salt mine over here. A blue salt mine on 4 wheels. It's fixing to be a pot of gold on 4 wheels. Blue truck's gonna cooperate. Alrighty, we are making some progress. Yes, we are. We've got the O-rings in the valley. Let's see. There, you can probably see them down there. This is the brightest light. Yep. Alright, we've got them in place. I put just a little bit of grease in the seat to hold them in place. But they stick way above the floor of the gasket there area. So let's go get the, first we need to move this light out of the way right here. We'll go get the pedestal and the bolts and start putting it together. We are taking a break. It's rough laying up there, let me tell you, it's rough. As you can see, I'm standing right here. Don't need to be doing that. But we do have the, I was squatting in here, it's just hard to see. You see I've got the light going, but the pedestal is in place. Like these slide out. You can see the pedestal, all the bolts tightened down. We ensure we got the good seal on the O-ring. So next is putting the turbo on there. You. But see, we can put the turbo on there, ensure we have a good seal on the O-rings, and get the bolts on either side. See the bolt here, and then on the other side, and we can snug it just a little bit, but leave it just a little bit loose. And when we go tighten all these pipes back up, that will help us big time. And then once we have the pipes secure, we can torque down the turbocharger. Yeah. We're getting there. We still got a lot to put back together. We have a lot to put back together, so whew. We're getting there though. We're making progress. But man, we had to take a break. That laying, oh my God. That laying up there and getting up and down and all that. Ooh, man. Woo-wee. But our pile of parts is getting smaller back here. Got the pedestal gone. Well, next we'll put the turbo, and I've been cleaning, and I have a Scotch-Brite pad that I went over all these. This is where a V-band clamp's got to clamp down, and then it's got to mate inside the surface perfectly. So we've gotten our Scotch-Brite and just lightly taking anything off that might hinder us from putting it all back together. Rather than it being really rough and jagged, we've kind of smoothed it out a little bit. And it's been on there 24 years now, so a little soot has developed here and there. And this is the surface that was leaking. And we'll put the bolts back in, like I said, just leave just a little bit of play in it, and that will allow us to put this and this clamp on there. That's the front one. This is the one on the back, that's so hard. And this is the one on the side over here, which is easier. This right here is the outlet for the turbo. It's right here. All these others are clamped for the cold and hot side of the intercooler and the spider right here. This is the spider. You have air coming in and air that's going out that's pressurized. So what you got to take into account. The pressurized air has to have a serious clamp on it. Got to withstand at least 100 pounds per square inch. Well, we got the pedestal back in there, and you can see we've got the O-rings in place. So now we're fixing to slide that thing in place. Woo, Lord. Gonna be interesting. Not much of a hole to put that in. Look at there, the turbocharger is back in there. And we were able to verify that all 4 O-rings were in the proper place before we tightened everything down. Now I've got it, left it just a little loose, just a little bit, so we can put those 2 V-band clamps. The downpipe is no problem, it's already in place. Back behind there though, where the hot side of the turbo intake is, that's going to be the problem. We are at least have all the O-rings in place. They're not going to move. So that's was job 1 right there. Now we just need to put the turbo back together. All these pipes and everything will have to go back together. This spider right here, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. Because listen, people, you got, how many openings you got here? Just look at this. Make sure it's rag don't get it. You got 1 opening that's a V-band clamp. It's got to go on there perfectly. It has no leeway at all. Then below are these plenums, and man, they are really hard to get in there both at the same time. So you have to line all this shit up. You have to line 3 pipes. Now this one, the intercooler pipes right here, they can move around slightly, but this, and this ain't gonna move. It has to be in the perfect place or it won't go on there. Our part's just getting smaller. It's gotten extremely windy, just all of a sudden. And it's out of the west as usual. It's not quite 7, so we don't have that much long. 45 minutes. A sunlight left, but daylight, we've probably got an hour left. So there's not a whole lot more we can do. Let's see if we can maybe fill these 2 big clamps. Now the downpipe, the big one here, it's already looks like it's in place. But this clamp, I need to straighten it up a little bit. This one goes behind the turbo. It's really hard to get to. So this is the one that is going to be concerning. And we've got the turbo bolted in place. And if we were able to confirm that all 4 O-rings are seated properly in the correct place when everything got put in place. So that's really good. Now, we left the bolts on the turbo sort of loose, not real loose, so it can move. See, it can move around just a little bit, which will be great for doing these clamps back. Yeah, look at that. It's already seated. The downpipe's already seated. All right. And you can see the wire where we wired the shaft on the exhaust back pressure valve. We cut the plate out, but we had to leave the rod or it'd be a big hole. So we left the rod, but we took the plate out, which will help in the back pressure big time. But we had to wire the rod so it wouldn't jiggle in place. So now we will get back behind right here. Follow my finger. You can just see the edge, the round part. It may be in place. We'll just have to see. But, I mean, I want to show you something about these clamps. Now, you have to get them on, you pry them apart and you get it on the pipe, and then you slide this to the flange. That's what we can do on the down pipe. We can't do that on this one. There's no pipe to slide it on because the pipe just immediately makes a 90-degree turn. So we'll just have to, we need to work on this one and get it back in place again. There's nothing wrong with it. We just had to do that to get it off. Oh, so we will, hopefully we won't have to go to this much trouble to get back home. We are attempting to get these two clamps back on the turbo. This is down pipe. That'll be an easy one to get to. This one is the problem child right here. We'll have to see what we're getting into right there, and we won't know until we're crawling up in there. But the down pipe looks to be like it's gonna be fairly easy. Oh man, it's just windy as shit. All of a sudden. Well, it is at kind of sunset. It's been windy all day. It's been windy for the last 3 months. But at times it'll blow all this away. It's just nuts. I worry it's gonna slam the hood down on me. I don't want that. We ain't moving as quick as we used to, and our pile of bolts here is getting smaller and smaller. Awesome. All the major bolts are halfway tightened down. We have 2 that we left loose, so we moved the turbo around just a tiny little bit. And now we've got to take some pictures with the camera because this Cyclops can't see with just one eye what is going on. I had to take a picture and make sure everything's okie dokie so we can tighten it up. It looks and appears to be in place, but before we put that bolt up there and tighten it down, we'll take a picture and make sure it's in the groove. It looks like it's in the groove to me, but you know, my vision's not what it used to be. It's half of what it used to be. That's the air quality. It was inside. It's been really high lately because of all the pollen in the air, and it makes it even compounded being inside. So I thought I'd bring it outside to see what it would lower down to. It was right at about 1,500. So 5,000 is like dangerous. So we're looking, you know, I think it's orange. Yeah, it's orange. We'll see how low it gets out here. We didn't quite finish, but We are really close. Got the pedestal bolted down, got the turbocharger bolted down. I knew we came back over here for something. Got one V-bang clamp in place. The second one, it looks like the pipes, the flange is really close to being really tight, which is good. It's real tight back there. We haven't tried to put the clamp on yet. We'll do that tomorrow. And the spider, which is basically the intake, and intercooler couplers, that's all we have left to put back together. So we're made huge progress today. I doubted we'd get it all put back together because there's so much other little stuff. Got to put the wastegate back on there. It's really hard to get to. Really, really hard to get to. So we'll work on it and finish it tomorrow. This is our storage, and there's the clam right there that we're going to, once we get the truck running, we're going to rearrange our yard and put our clam up and put all this stuff in the clam. Well, a lot of this stuff's going in the RV, all those totes, because the garages, both the front and the middle one, they're both basically empty. So they can take those totes, no problem. Put the motorcycle and all this other stuff in the clam, no problem. So there's a lot of wasted space in here. It'll save us $100, but we're very thankful for it. Hey, Clancy! The end of a beautiful day. It's a little windy today, but we got a lot accomplished. Tomorrow we'll finish this thing up, and it will hopefully be a cruise. Won't be too hard. Hard part's done. We got the pedestal and the turbocharger mounted in place. All locked up. Head on back to the RV and decide what's for dinner. I know what's on the menu is feeding that cat, probably, before anything else gets done. Feed the cat first. Let's see, do we wonder if we need to check the weather today? I thought we were needing to check the weather. It's gonna rain or something. It clouded up there for a minute. I need to bring our grass in. It should really be just a few more days before this one right here is really starting to get long enough where she could eat it. The small one right here, I guess, because it's smaller and it doesn't get as warm. Ooh, let's see what this is. Wow. So it went from 15 to 500. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot. It's really starting to come out. You see some sprouts too. All right, we'll bring it in. So, because it gets cold out here at night, we need to lock up the adventure trailer. And daggone birds, let me tell you. They go through this whole thing every day. And half of this. And a bunch of stuff's on the ground. Because these birds, they were wasteful on this. This needs to be that millet rather than sunflower. And sunflower and that. If we can get our hummingbird feeder cleaned and ready to go.